Welcome everyone to today's webinar on admin level widget creation. And today we're going to be discussing the dashboards in SAFE and kind of what's on it. So the dashboard is the first place you're going to be taken after you get logged in. And it should give you a snapshot of your world and what's going on in it via widgets. So what exactly are widgets? Well, we have some pre-built widgets in our add widget box, and I'll just pull up the general stats one. And widgets such as this one relate to some kind of a saved search. They're shortcuts related to saved searches that reside on your dashboard. So they help you save time by having the searches that you want already stored, so you don't need to recreate them over and over and over again. They're just housed in a widget on your dashboard. They also give you updated information at your fingertips. So this general stats widget has a number of line items in it for how many items were entered in the last year, the last 30 days, etc. And if you'll note, in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a date and a timestamp for that widget. And if you want the latest, greatest counts of any of those line items, just click the refresh icon here. That will update the date and the timestamp in the widget. And that looks like it just got updated. And that'll give you the latest counts. So today we're going to be talking about what are some things an administrator might be interested in knowing about that's going on in your agency. Well, how much currency do you currently have on hand? Hey, if you've got more than $800,000 in cash sitting around, it might be time to go to the bank. I don't know. Or how much found property do you have that might be older than 90 days? Because if it's older than 90 days, you can probably dispose of it. And at the end of the day, you don't want to be running a wholesale club where you have boxes stacked from floor to ceiling with things you could have gotten rid of. How many items might you have that were obtained due to a search warrant? Or how many things were returned to their owners last year, or next of kin last year, or this year? In the news as of late are sexual assaults. So how many of those took place last year? Or how many kits do I have that are currently checked in that I might want to do something with? So those are just a few things an administrator might want to know immediately just by getting logged in and looking at those things. Now, if you're an administrator, I would invite you to go into settings and organization. And then at the top of the screen, there are a number of tabs which you can take a look at to get an idea of what you might want to put in these widgets. So you may want to look at your item categories, for example, and take a look at your list of options in use and just kind of glance through there and see what things are important to you that would be beneficial to have in a widget. And here are sexual assault kits. So we'll create that widget here shortly. You can look at custody reasons. Reasons an item might be in your custody. For example, there's found property. How many items have you taken in that are found property, or that you've taken in due to a search warrant or some other reason? There are checkout reasons. Maybe you want to know how many things you've checked out for inspection, or how many things have been taken to the lab. You can check out disposal methods to see how many things did I destroy this year, or how many things have been returned to their rightful owners or next of kin, etc. With case offense types, you can take a look at those, the different types of cases that might interest an administrator. how many sexual assaults have occurred in my agency, have occurred as far as case entries in that we've entered over the course of the last year or whatever. So those are just a few things that an administrator might want to know. So let's get started with creating those searches, saving them, and making widgets out of them. So let's take a look at found property. And the first thing I'm going to do is click search, and I want to look at items. So I'm going to search on items. That's going to take me to the advanced search item screen, where I have a number of different parameters that I can enter. And I would like to go with status equals checked in. So I'm only really interested in things that are checked in for some type of custody reason. And that custody reason is going to be found property. So I'm looking for found property, checked in found property. And then I'm going to go with the created date, which is older than X number of days. And in this case, let's just go with 90. So found property, checked in found property older than 90 days. And let's scroll down, and you can choose whatever offices you would like. And I'm going to save that search. All right, so checked in property older than days. And I apologize, the computer's acting a little slow. There we go. Checked in found property older than 90 days. And that search might be in there, so we'll put tracker checked in found property older than 90 days, and we'll save that. And now, okay, it says our search just got saved. So now I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I'll click dashboard here. And I want to start to create a widget out of the searches that I'm going to be making. And I'm going to get rid of the graphs here. I'm just going to click the X to remove those graphs. Now those graphs are template graphs, so I can get those back whenever I want it. However, the widgets that you create are not, like a system template per se. So if you get rid of them, they are most likely going to be gone for good. So be very careful. If you X out of those, they're going to be gone. So to create a widget, let's go in the Add Widget box. And I'm going to scroll down and click on Statistics because I want to get statistics on my cases and items. And that is going to put a Widget 1 box on your dashboard, where I'm going to rename Widget 1 by clicking the icon to the left of the X. And let's rename it and call it something. Case and item information. There we go. Now I'm going to start layering the searches that I saved into this widget. So I'm going to first click the blue circle with the white plus. And in the Save Search field at the top, I'm going to click on the drop down. And at the very bottom should be the search that you just saved. And there it is, tracker checked in found property older than 90 days. In this case, everything gets pre-populated for you, and I'm just going to click Save. And there we go. So now I can immediately see that I have 466 items that are checked in pieces of found property that are older than 90 days. If I hover my mouse over the number 466 and click on it, it is going to launch that search and run that search and give me back those search results, which I can then do something with. And there they are. So there are all the results of the search for found property older than 90 days. From here, if you would like to print out a list, you can select up to 100 items at a time by going to menu customization, options, and you can change the default page size from 25 to 100. You can then select everything 100 items at a time, and you can run a report on those items. Another thing you could do is, instead of doing things that way, you can export this list to Excel. So I'll just click on All Excel. And that is going to take me to the Export Jobs page, where it looks like my job is in progress. I'll click on the refresh icon to the right of menu customization, and my job looks like it completed. And now if I click the word download in the download link column, I can save a copy of that file in Excel. And then from there, I can open that up in Excel, and that will give me my list of things. I can print it out and go through my evidence room, finding those items before I ultimately dispose of them or get them ready to be disposed of. So that's found property. Let me show you a little bit different search this time. Let's look at money. So let's do a search on items once again. And once again, that's going to take me to the advanced search page for items, where I'm going to look for things that are checked in, as we did last time. So checked in, but this time I'm going to pick a category of items. And I'm going to go with currency. And so I just want to know all checked in currency that I have. But I'm also going to scroll down to the bottom, and I want to search in custom data this time. So I'm going to turn that from off to on. And the custom data, the form that I want to take a look at is the currency form. And I want anything in this form. So I'm going to click that checkbox. And I'm going to save this. All right, let's give it a name. And please bear with me, the computer's acting a little sluggish. Okay, so there's my search, and let's save that. All right, saved. So now let's once again go back to the dashboard. And I want to layer that currency search into this widget. So I'm going to click the blue circle with the white plus. And that is going to bring up the add statistic pop-up. I'll click in the save search field, and at the very bottom is our search. All right, so checked in currency. But instead of clicking save, I'm going to do some things a little bit differently this time. instead of the field created by, I'm going to change that to currency total. And instead of just counting the currency items, I'm going to sum all of those currency total fields in dollars. And I'm going to save that. And that is going to give me a dollar amount for the pieces of checked in currency items that I currently have. If you click on that number, $11,183.16, it will bring up the items that it created that number with or from. Okay. As we mentioned earlier, let's do a search on cases this time. And let's look at some of the sexual assault cases. All right, this time I want to go with an offense type, and I'm on the advanced search for cases page. And the offense type is going to be a sexual assault. And I want to just look at active cases. So active is going to equal true. And I'm going to save that. Okay, that just got saved. Or you could even break this up by year by doing a created date between a date range. Maybe you want to do, let's see here. Let's go with January 1st. Through December 31st. And if you save this, you could call it sexual assaults, active sexual assault cases from 2021. Okay, but let's go back to our dashboard now and add that sexual assault save search into our widget. Let's click the blue circle with the white plus. Once again, click on our save search field at the top and scroll all the way to the very bottom. There's our search, and everything's going to get pre-populated. I'm just going to save that. And it looks like I have two cases, two active sexual assault cases. And if I click on that number, if I hover my mouse over the number 2 and click on it, it will bring up those cases. And related to those sexual assault cases, you can do a search on items for any kits. And so let's go with things that are checked in. So status equals checked in. And we'll go with an item category equaling sexual assault kits. And let's save that. All right, looks like our search just got saved. We'll scroll back up, go to our dashboard, and layer that search into our widget. Click the blue circle with the white plus. And we're going to click on our Save Search field at the top, scroll down to the very bottom. There's our search. Let's take off tracker and just call it checked in sexual assault kits. We'll save that. And there you go. There's an item count of 370 checked in sexual assault kits. If we click on the number 370, it'll run that search, bring up exactly what those items are, and you can go from there. So why don't we do that? We'll click on that, and that should run the search and bring those items up here in a moment. And there they are. Now, another thing that you can do at this point with your sexual assault evidence, for example, is you have a number of different column headers here. And with the column headers, if you click on menu customization and options, you have the option of adding a number of different columns or removing them. Not only regular columns, but also custom data. So if you click in custom data forms, you can add a number of custom data columns if you would like to. You can also, at this point, recovery date. You can click on that column header, and right now it's being sorted by item number. You can tell that because there's a little black triangle pointed upwards. If you click on the recovery date column, that is going to take all 370 items and it's going to sort by that column. And we'll give it a second here. Okay, there we go. And so now you can see that this has sorted by the recovery date column, and we have things dating back from the 90s. And so if you would like to at this point, you can go back through and you know, figure out if anything needs to be done with this or if that's fine the way it is. So just another idea. All right, back to the dashboard. And one of the final things I want to talk to you relating to widgets is I did all the work to create this widget. But now other people in your agencies, as long as they have that widget ID number, which is 7-0, they can copy that widget from you. So if you have another administrator and they see your dashboard and they're like, oh my gosh, that's really neat what you've done. That would be great if I could have that. No problem. Just give them the widget ID number, in this case it's 7-0, and have them go to their dashboards and click their Add Widget box. And they can click the third one down, Copy User Widget, put in the ID of 7-0 and click OK. And once they do that, a copy of this widget will then be on their dashboards. And so once one person builds out a widget, everyone else can copy off of them. Now, once they copy that widget from you, they can kind of manipulate it however they would like to. They can remove things, add things to it, and that's not going to affect your widget at all. And the reverse is true as well. If you add things to your widget now, it's not going to affect the widget that was copied from you. It's not going to add your any more layered searches in there for the person that copied that widget from you. They would need to, if they want the updated of your, if they would like your updated widget, they will need to X out of the widget on their dashboard and recopy that from you. All right. Any questions? Okay, so we got a question, resizing the widgets. Okay, so this widget is a little bit long, at the moment. And so to resize the widget, if you go to the very right edge of the widget, you'll see a line with two arrows on either side of it. If you click right there, you can, very technical term, you can scrunch the widget. Just click and drag it over, and it'll scrunch it down to a more manageable size. There we go. Another thing that you can do, let me put some graphs and things here on my screen. Another thing that you can do is you can kind of move these things around. So I'm just going to drag this widget and move it over here. So I just dragged at the very top of the widget, and these things are a little finicky. I will not lie. So let me try this. Okay, there we go. And in doing so, you can kind of move things around the screen that way. All right. Another question is from Jason Michael. Is there a way to view other departments' widgets to see if we want to copy them? That is a good question. Unfortunately, you cannot view other agencies' widgets. The only way you can copy widgets is intra-agency. So anyone within your agency can copy a widget from you, but not, unfortunately, outside of your agency. And yeah, that is a bummer. After we get done with today's webinar, we are going to post this on the Safe Wiki Guide. And so to get to that, you can go down here to help and click on the Wiki Support Guide link. That will take you to our Safe Documentation Wiki Guide. And at the bottom down here is a section for training webinars. And most likely later today or early tomorrow, we'll be posting this for you to view whenever you get the chance, in case you missed anything. All right. Well, I don't think there are any more questions, so that is all that we have for you today. Thank you everyone so much for attending today's webinar. If you have any questions or would like to review anything that we've gone over today, please feel free to give us a call over here in support. You can also send me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you with whatever you need help with. Chat is also available, so please get a hold of us and we'll help you out with, like I said, whatever you need help with. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend coming up, and we will talk with you soon. Thank you all so much for attending. Bye-bye.